All right, here we go. Prime time, 6 o'clock slot. A minute or two late, but nevertheless, we are here. Here we go. I got a little minute or two late, but nevertheless.
Fucking audio video difficulties.
Yeah, here we go. Hold on.
This is why we don't do live streams, folks.
I got all this feedback. All right, let's try that one more time. I'm going to blame it on the fucking cold medicine.
Go ahead. That'll work.
Oh, my God. Hey, listen, if you're about to bet the Sweet 16, don't. At least not yet. This is where a lot of people get in trouble. The numbers are tighter, and the obvious side isn't always the right one. We're going to break down every game and find where the value actually is and where you're better off staying away. And what we're not going to do is be fucking audio engineers because I totally fucked that up. And there's like 3 different computers going off. Holy shit, Mikey. What is happening?
What's up, man? What's up?
Nothing like being on time. And
this weekend, it's exciting, but it also gets a little depressing because there's only 16 teams left. We're running out of games here. It's slowly coming to an end, and that's sad. A couple weeks ago, we had all these teams, all these games, and now it's coming to an end.
It was pretty depressing actually putting this together today because I'm looking at this and I'm like, oh, man, we got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then next weekend, and then the championship Monday, and then that's it.
That's it. That is it.
We were waiting for it to get here. And all the excitement, and couldn't wait, and we're fucking nitwits betting NIT games because there's nothing else on, right? Yeah. Rewatching Iowa, Nebraska matchups. I think you were doing that and trying to prep for this.
Yep.
And now it's like done. It's almost over.
But I'll tell you what, we got some really good games. This year we feel a little cheated because we don't have that great Cinderella story. But what we do have is we got some really good matchups. Like I can't wait to see how some of these play out. I mean, there's not a game that I'm going to watch that I'm not going to enjoy. Every one of those games is going to be enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And we almost got all 4 number ones to advance, and we didn't. We'll get into that. And what we got on tap, we'll look at the Sweet 16 teams across the board. We'll look at some betting stats from the first 2 rounds and recap that. We'll look at the championship odds for who's left. We'll look at the Thursday games. Tommy Trend's got some Sweet 16 stats, and then we'll go into the Friday games. And we'll get the full card posted on X before the tip-off at OTH Sports Pod. What are your thoughts on how you want to do? Should we tell the people here like noon, 5 o'clock because they're later games? So I guess I'll make an administrative decision here.
I'll probably have the card. I'll probably have my card figured out by noon tomorrow. I could get it to you. We'll get it posted somewhere around lunchtime tomorrow. That gives you guys time to check it out.
Yeah, so that's the noonish 1 o'clock hour. East Coast time. We'll have that up for you tomorrow. And then same thing for Friday. The lines, and we'll go through it. The lines really haven't moved too much since they came out. A little bit of movement right at the start. And then they kind of just, we're pretty much steady throughout the week and haven't done much regardless. Even the Iowa State line with the Joshua Jefferson factor there, which we'll get into. But they haven't really moved. So we get out to you at lunchtime. And while you're on lunch, you can make your bets. But this is what we're before I get into this, if you're joining us here, drop a little note in the chat, say hi, where you're tuning in from, who you like. Major League Baseball starts tonight, so I don't know if you're gonna watch that game. We do have a little funny video on one of the teams playing tonight before we get out of here. We'll get into that later, so drop something in the chat. And, sit back, enjoy the ride, and we'll break it down for you, and hopefully you'll be profitable as the March Madness winds down. But this is what we're looking at here. Sweet 16, how it stands conference-wise, the Big 10 or the Big 20, whatever now they are. They're like 10 teams. It's like fucking 20 teams. But they are coming out on top here with 6 teams, and then the SEC's been pretty dominant with 4. So this is how it shakes out for the teams in the Sweet 16. And I thought this was interesting here. This is the first time since 1954 that none of these 4 teams are in the Sweet 16. And 2 of those teams, Kansas and North Carolina, will be looking for a head coach. Finally, Hubert Davis got shit canned. It's about time. He's overdue, about 5 years overdue. And I guess Bill Self said he's going to hang it up, call it a career. So 2 big blue blood programs will be looking for a head coach. Rumor has it Billy Donovan's name's thrown in the hat there. He might be leaving the Bulls. We'll see. But I thought that was kind of interesting that it's the first time since 54. It's pretty wild. It's wild. But looking at some betting trends, how the first 2 rounds shook out. This is courtesy of the fine friends at VSiN. Didn't make this graphic. They did, just borrowed it. So you had the favorites straight up were 39-9 against the spread. The favorites were 27, 19, and 2. And totals were leaning toward the under, 25 and 23 toward the under there. And of the 16 teams that are left, this is what you're looking at as far as the odds. If you want to put any money here, Michigan, Arizona, Duke, the 3 number 1s that survived, obviously they're still the heavy favorites. And then Houston coming in there, still some decent money on Houston if you like to back them at plus 700. Purdue, fuck Purdue. Plus
do you have any futures alive?
I did on Florida, and they fucked me. So that's up in flames.
I still got my Houston at 16-1.
That's a good bet.
I still got
Houston
that
there.
alive. Yeah, but just so you know, when I'm figuring out who I'm playing here, I'm not even taking that into consideration. So I'm putting plays out like I don't have that. So just so everybody's aware, because obviously the smart thing for me would be doing down the stretch here is hedging. But yeah, I'm assuming, like, almost for the sake of the show and everything, as I don't have that play out there.
Yeah, that's still a good number you got there at Houston at 16-1.
Yeah.
Hell, if you like Texas, throw some money on Texas if you believe in Sean Miller. I mean,
I believe in Sean Miller, but don't do that on Texas.
No.
I'm not surviving this weekend.
I do have. I'll bring it up when we get to Tommy Trends. I was messing around with some parlays. For these games coming up Thursday and Friday. A couple parlays that are long shots, but if you throw a buck or 2 on it, it could have some payout if you cash. So that's probably a better bet than taking Texas. That's a really big number there. So what do you say, Mikey? We just we get right into these games here. We'll kick it off Thursday. We're looking at the tip-off here, and we got Purdue, Texas. It's a 7:10 tip on CBS. Purdue laying 7 in the hook. Total 149.5. Obviously, Purdue is elite 3-point shooting team, right around 39%. Texas, they like to get physical, like to get to the line. And you're looking at efficiency versus physical pressure here. Interesting that Texas has made, Sean Miller 10-0 against the spread coming in. Do you like Purdue, their shooting here, or do you like Texas to get this into a grind and keep it close for that first game?
Yeah, I don't think Texas can keep it close, to be honest. The first thing I think here is who's going to get stops in this game. Neither one of these teams necessarily defend very well. If I had to pick a better defensive team, honestly, that's if you look at just metrics alone, it's Purdue, and then they're obviously the better offensive team. What does Texas have going for them? Vokalaitis, the big guy, he could score. They throw him the ball an awful lot, and he does some damage inside. But one thing that Purdue has is a couple bigs that, they could throw out there. And I think, Clough could negate Vokalaitis, and I look at that as a wash there. The problem Texas is going to have is they play this drop style defense. So you're susceptible to that pick and roll and coming off screens. You have 2 good shooters. Purdue has 2 good shooters coming off that pick and roll. I see a lot of short range jump shots being made in this game. Texas, they have a tough interior defense, but they don't turn you over. Texas doesn't turn you over. And if there's one thing Purdue's susceptible to, it's being turned over under pressure. And that's one thing Texas doesn't do well. So I don't know. I just don't see enough offense coming out of Texas to keep up with Purdue. Weaver and Swain would have to have really big games. Jordan Pope has had a great tournament, but honestly, I think he's played way above his potential. I don't think he's that good. And you have no real leader on that Texas offense. You don't have a point guard that's a standout name. I think they played above their potential, and I think they're running into a juggernaut here who's playing really well, who's shooting 58% from three. So maybe you'll have a little shooting regression from Purdue. It's possible, but when you want to throw stats out, Tommy, 9-0 Purdue on neutral courts. They've been the best team on neutral courts. So give me the better defensive team and the much better offensive team right now. And this is the biggest thing. Who is going to stop TKR? Like who do they have to stop Kaufman-Wren? Like, I don't know which player on that team is going to stop him. I think he scores at will. And I really think that Purdue runs away with this game. It'll be close early. But most of this game, I see it as about a 10 to 12 point game. And I think it's constantly Texas struggling to get it back to that 10-point range and get it to 10 points. And then it'll go up to 15 and back down to 10. But I think this stays a double-digit lead just about the whole game.
Yeah, and you're right there with Ken Palm as far as who's going to play defense, right? He's looking at it's going to hit the over. So he's saying it's going to go over that 149.5, which I like that number too. I'm not a Purdue backer. If anything, I like I'm leaning toward the over there because I agree. And who's going to stop? Right. I just think it could be. It could get ugly late, just like you said. It could be close early, and then the Purdue's just going to pull away. So, yeah, I guess we'll see what happens there if it's going to be hitting that over or not. The next game we got this is what I'm looking forward to. Nebraska, Iowa. So this is the problem. You got a 7:10 tip right on CBS, and you got Nebraska, Iowa 7:30 tip on TBS. You got Iowa getting a point and a half, total 131.5. The two teams split during the regular season. Nebraska, tough defense, turnover edge favors Nebraska here, a top Big Ten defense and turnover percentage. Iowa, slightly better offense, but they have that inconsistent efficiency, which didn't matter against Florida because their field goal percentage, 3-point percentage was shit. And still prevailed over Florida. You know, it's this familiarity with these teams, and you watch the replay of their in-season matchups, both low-scoring games, which should lean toward the under here, that 131.5. What do you trust more, the Cornhuskers and that consistency, or Iowa's ability to become more efficient, more effective on offense, and keep that momentum rolling throughout the tournament here?
Yeah, so that under came down. It was at 133. It came down. I like the under here too. I think I like the under more than the side. Most likely I'm going to be on Iowa. I just spent the last couple nights watching these games over again. I watched both regular season games. These teams are so evenly matched. It's crazy. It's so crazy. And I like them both. I like players on both of those teams. What you have here too, Tom, is, this 3-point variance is going to be huge. That's going to decide the game. Which team shoots the 3-pointer better in this game is going to win the game. Like you said, they split during the regular season. Nebraska has a very unique style of defense where they force you to shoot threes. They scramble to your best 3-point shooters, and they make you make that extra pass to a not so good 3-point shooter. The problem though with that is that works on other teams when you have your 4th and 5th guy on the court who doesn't shoot the 3 all that well. But Iowa could put 5 guys on the court that could all shoot 3s, and that's troublesome. Yeah. So it's going to come down to the role players on Iowa making 3-point shots. You have 2 great players on both teams, Sturts and Sanford. They're going to be on the court at all times. They both can make outstanding shots. They both play good defense. This is going to come down to the last possession. I trust Iowa a little more. Most importantly, I trust the coach a little more. McCollum, you give him 4 days to prep for a game in the tournament, and the guy is money. I mean, the guy is money. He is a good schemer. He's a good planner. He gets his guys to buy in. I trust him more. I think I will be on Iowa, but I will definitely be on the under as well.
I mean, he's winning.
But man, I wish these two
players.
teams weren't playing each other. I wish they were playing different teams, man, because I really wanted to see both these teams move along.
In the Final Four. Yeah. I mean, he's winning with D2 players, essentially. It's like couple, Drake 2.0. I mean, the guy, they were terrible. Like, if you look at the stats last game, just looking at it on paper, you'd be like, Florida won that game. Yeah. And you're like, and you look at the score and you're like, oh, shit. Right? I mean, he's a hell of a coach.
He is.
I'm looking forward to that. You might not get a lot of offense, both like the under there, but you're going to get two teams that are competitive, and should be a great game. So we'll see if those two familiar teams, if it really is a coin flip, which is basically what the line's telling you. It's almost like a pick 'em. We'll see if that pans out for that game, and then. Another Thursday game here. We got Houston. Before that, we got Arizona, Arkansas. That's the 9:45 tip on TBS. Arizona laying 7 in the hook. Total 166.5. We know Arizona. I mean, they're just elite up and down across the board. You look at Arkansas. They don't like to play defense, but they sure as shit like to score. Then you look at Arkansas and their depth. Can they match up with Arizona? And does that lack of depth get the best of them late in the game and down the stretch? Or are we looking at Acuff just going off and putting up a 50 spot and then just take it to Arizona here? What are your thoughts on this game?
My thoughts are exactly what you just said. The number one thing I have written here on my paperwork is lack of depth for Arkansas. And one thing I have here for Arkansas to be in this game with even a potential chance to win, Acuff has to go for 45. But man, I can't see it. They're going to get killed on the offensive glass. They're going to get killed on the defensive glass. One thing that Arkansas does, they're 278th in the nation in Division I college basketball in giving up 2-point field goals. And what the heck does Arizona do? That's exactly what they do. They try to get in the paint and score. So you have one of the best teams around the rim scoring against one of the worst teams around the rim defensively. That's not going to work out too good. Add the lack of depth on top of that. Add the fact that they're going to get into foul trouble. You're going to need Acuff to have an offensive performance like he's never had. And then the more offensive game he has, the less that guy decides to play defense too. And it's not like it's not like you have a bum across from you on the other side of the court. I mean, this is a team you don't want to mess with, and you need to play good man-to-man defense against. So Arizona will beat you up. They're going to get better. They're going to have better shot quality. They're going to score in the paint, and the size and depth will wear them down. Arizona runs away with this one late, and I actually like them to cover. I will be on Arizona. The line actually opened at 9.5, and it took some money right away and came down. I'm glad I didn't take it right away. So I actually got on this one already. So this will be one of my plays. But yeah, I see Arizona. I hate betting favorites, man. I'm just telling you right now, but I'm forced to here. I can't see Arkansas. They would need to play the game of their lives to keep this competitive.
If they were a little bit more consistent on defense,
well, that's it.
And it's like you said, with Acuff, he's got a 40 plus, 45 plus to make up for the lack of defense. And Arizona's so physical. I mean, just 1 through 5.
And they throw bodies at you. They can throw bodies at you.
They're just going to bang. The only thing is you look at Tommy Lloyd and 3-7 against the spread or whatever that number is now, or 3-8 or whatever that is, 4-7, whatever that is in the tournament. So you're like, there's that if factor from a coaching standpoint, but I feel like that team will if he makes some mistakes, that team's just going to have his back and they'll pick up the slack. They're just so good. They're just going to wear you down. I don't know. I don't know how Arkansas is just going to need to play that perfect of a game to get past Arizona.
And even to keep it within a number.
Yeah.
I think this gets away from them.
I think so too. I think their clocks run out. They had a good run, but this Arizona team is good. We said it all year. They're good. And now with Koa Pete, and now he's back. I mean, they had that stretch of games where he wasn't there, and you saw as soon as he came back the immediate difference he made in that chemistry of that team. We'll see what happens. And then the nightcap here, Houston, Illinois. That's a 10:05 tip on TBS. I guess you could kind of call it a home game for Houston. I mean, it's in Houston, but it's not
it's gonna be like a home game.
I mean, they're laying 3.5, total 139.5 here. We know Houston likes to slow it down. They got that elite defense. They want to control the pace, control the tempo. And then there's Illinois. It's the complete opposite, and they want to push. And they want to run and gun and score. So it's a push versus pull kind of thing. How do you see this one shaking out? I know you got that futures bet on Houston, but
yeah, that aside, don't get it twisted though. Houston has a really good half court offensive set too. I mean, they'll score in transition if they're given the opportunity, but they have some really good offensive sets that they run. They have guys that all have length that could shoot the ball. Like you said, Tom, this is pretty much a home game for Houston. But Illinois, this is Brad Underwood's best team that he's ever had. And if you're not going to do it this year, I don't see anytime soon because this is your best opportunity. They're elite rebounding team, offensive rebounding team. Like I said, they have 1 through 5 that could shoot the 3. They do not turn the ball over. And one thing that Houston survives on is turning you over. That's how Houston scores, turning you over. And one thing that you might see, I wouldn't be surprised if you see Illinois play some zone against Houston, and Houston has a hard time scoring to begin with, and then throw some different looks at them, might confuse them. Houston needs to turn you over to score. Houston needs to dominate the glass to score. And this is one team that they didn't want to run into because they're just as big and long as them, and they rebound just as well, and they don't turn the ball over. I love this Houston team, but I love this Illinois bet. I really do. I'm gonna be on Illinois, and it's gonna be my hedge, so it works out that way anyway. But even if I didn't have that Houston future, I would be on Illinois plus the 3.5 for sure, and it will be a play for me.
Yeah, I've certainly learned my lesson undervaluing that Illinois team throughout the season. Made some mistakes. They are a really good team.
They're good.
I like Illinois. I said a couple weeks ago, fade Houston after they screwed me in that one game. Just,
and ever since you said that, they just kept winning.
Yeah. I just the offensive inefficiencies or droughts that they can go through.
Yeah,
could really hurt them, and it did. And they had that 3-game losing stretch there, but then they turned it around and just turned it on toward the end of the season, rolling right into the tournament. So it's just how much you trust Kelvin Sampson and them to get it done in the offensive side. Defense is solid. You're going to get a defensive effort.
Oh yeah,
from tip to finish. There's no question there. It's offensively can they match up, especially if Illinois gets out and they're hitting threes and they get up. And it could be
if they get up and they force Houston to shoot threes, it's trouble. It will be trouble.
Yeah, it could get ugly early, and you might see that home court, so to speak, advantage not be a home court advantage anymore.
Yeah. I really like that game. Like, I hate saying it because Houston's been my team. I've made a lot of money on Houston. I love the way they play. I love their grit. It just hurts me to have to bet against them, but I really think this is the play. This is the play of this round for sure.
I mean, this is probably not count. I mean, this is probably one of the top 2 teams that they played all year in their schedule. When you look at it,
yeah,
top 2 or 3. However you want to slice it, but they're going to get tested for sure. And this is where you could see Illinois come out here. So it should be a good game. We'll see who controls the tempo here, and how that shakes out leading into Friday. Before we get into Friday, if you're just joining in, we're going through the Sweet 16 matchups, all the games, all the angles, the traps, the sides, and where we're leaning. And we'll have our cards by the noonish hour out on Thursday and Friday, so that way you guys can make your bets if you're tailing or if you're fading, whatever you want to do. But that way you'll have access to those on our Twitter X page at OTH Sports Pod. Before we get into the Friday games, we'll look at some Tommy trends for Sweet 16. Hey, listen, don't shoot the fucking messenger. These are just historical stats that I pulled out my ass.
Do you follow these? Do you bet these?
No,
I'm just curious.
No. Sometimes I do. I guess if it's like a coin flip situation, and I'm like, I'm kind of torn in between teams.
Yeah,
and I'll be like, all right, I'll take the trend here. Just kind of funny to see how they shake out.
Yeah,
and you always bust me because I always got stats for shit. So I was like, what the hell? I'll make a running joke out of it in the tournament here and have some fun with it. But if you look, some of these don't really apply because we don't have some of these seeds. But if you look at the favorites, favorite by 5 or more, or 11 and 20 against the spread since 2017, the 1 and 2 seeds, 45 and 17 straight up, 35, 26 and 1 against the spread there. And then 1 versus 4, 15 and 4 straight up, but just 1 and 6 against the spread lately. There was one, this is interesting. The double-digit favorites, and we don't have any. The closest double-digit favorite we have is the Michigan game, laying 9.5 against Alabama. So that's the closest we have in the Sweet 16 round. So we'll say it's double-digit. Double-digit favorites in this round are 37 and 3 straight up in the Sweet 16 since 1985. There's 3 times where that was not the case. First one was Kansas lost to Arizona in 97, Duke lost to Indiana in 2002, and Purdue lost to St. Peter's in 2022. Fucking Purdue, they suck. So those are your 3 losses there for those double-digit favorites, which were kind of close there. I mean, maybe you get some late money and that moves to 10. I don't see it, but and then some situations and some totals. Favorites of 8 or more are 29, 9, and 3, leaning toward the under. We don't have any mid-majors. Totals, though, Sweet 16 totals below 138 are 19 and 7, leaning toward the under. And seeds 5 through 9, 31, 22, and 4 against the spread. So that's Texas. If you like Texas there, hook 'em horns. There's the trend for you. Public here in the Sweet 16 typically do a little bit better in this round, coming in against the spread at 58% win rate for that. So listen, don't shoot the fucking messenger. If you play all those trends, they don't come in, but that's just historical data that I found on the interweb there, in case you like looking at numbers. It's like fucking Rain Man or whatever. But back to Friday games. Looking at Friday, here we go. I love this game because I hope Duke gets bounced here. It was a Friday 7:10 tip, CBS. Duke St. John's. Duke lane 6.5, total 141.5. Obviously Duke's elite program. Haven't performed well of late. They were sleepwalking through the ACC tournament. Got a little bit of wake-up call first couple games here in the first 2 rounds. Boozer looking like shit. We said it. He is not. We both agree he's not the offensive player of the year or player of the year. Acuff is the player of the year. Yeah, Boozer's going to fucking get it. So. But this kid, his brother looked way better last game. This kid just, he's not all, he's big, but when you look at him and Acuff is clearly the player of the year, but whatever, he probably won't get it. And then you look at St. John's, they like to get down and dirty. They like to get physical, muck it up, so to say, and bang around a little bit. Now, the one thing I did find that's interesting, Duke has never won here's some more trends. Duke has never won a national championship without defeating St. John's. 1991, they beat them. 91-92, they beat them. 2001 season, they beat St. John's. 2009, 2010, they beat St. John's. And in 2014, 2015, they had to go through St. John's. And now they're getting another St. John's matchup here in the Sweet 16. And it's hard to believe it's been 10 years since Duke won a championship, and it'll probably be another year before they win one. But what do you think, Mikey? You think the Johnnies get the upset here, or you like the Dukies to pull through?
I don't think they get the upset. I think they keep it close enough, though. I like the Johnnies and the points for sure. I think the line's set. So that's the problem. You're not going to find value in any of these games. These lines are where they're supposed to be. So it's not like I'm looking at the line and saying, well, I have the Johnnies, should only be getting 3. So I'm taking the value at the 6.5. No, they're getting 6.5. That's right where I make it. So
right.
I'm not going to sit here and not bet games, so you're forced to bet it. So I think the Johnnies can keep this game close. One thing they'll have to do is make shots. They're not gonna have a bad shooting game and still stay in this game. It won't be close if that happens. And then I have 3 questions that they have to answer. Can the Johnnies make shots? Can the Johnnies turn them over? And can they score on turnovers and second chance points? Because that's how they do their damage. Turning teams over and scoring on second chance opportunities. I think Zuby and Dylan Mitchell will do enough collectively to keep Boozer at bay. I don't think he goes off and has a crazy game like he's capable of doing. I think they keep him at bay. It's just the other Duke players that I worry about. Foster's most likely out. He's not playing. But Gungba's back, and he definitely helps them inside. Zuby's not going to be able to do what he typically does and bully people. He has some big bodies to go up against. But I think they do enough. I think they get enough turnovers to keep it close. I think this is a 2-3 possession game down the end, and I think we're going to be sitting there biting our fingernails when Duke's shooting foul shots at the end of the game to go up like 6 or 7, and we're hoping that St. John's is coming down and getting like a layup at the cover at the end or something like that. And that's what I see happening.
Yeah, I swear you read my notes here because 3 things I have. St. John's, in order for them to win, force turnovers, speed the game up, and get transition buckets.
Yep.
If Duke keeps it clean, keeps it in a half court, they're done.
They're not going to beat them in a half court game. It's not happening.
No, even if Boozer has a shit game. So...
Yep.
It's like you said, you're not finding value. Ken Pom has that game going slightly over by a couple points. So the number's right there. Next game, Michigan, Alabama, 7:35 tip, TBS. Michigan lane 9.5, total 174.5. Bama loves to bomb those threes, and if they can make them, this could be a high-scoring game, and that total could get obliterated. And, of course, Michigan, they like to protect the rim, bang you inside. They don't force turnovers. Alabama hits these threes and gets crazy on offense, and everything's firing on all cylinders. This could get wild and out of control. If not, and Michigan's controlling this game, they could pull away. What do you see happening here with this matchup?
Yeah, it comes down to if Alabama has the shooting game like they did against Texas Tech, they'll be in this game with somewhat of a chance, I think, at the end to win it. If they do not have a good shooting game, this game will get ugly. It will get ugly. The only thing that scares me a little bit, or I would be all over Michigan right now, my bet would have been in already, is this team likes to play with their fucking food, and it irritates me. They'll wait till they're getting punched in the mouth and down 6 or 8 points before they kind of look at each other and say, let's go. And they decide to really D it up. And then you'll see this team go on a 15-2 run. And you could tell that they collectively said to each other, listen, are we done fucking around here? Let's go. It's so obvious. It's obvious to anybody who played basketball that they look at each other and realize, let's go. It's time. And then they go on these runs. I hope they come out and just do that right away. And you get the Michigan that you're supposed to see playing every minute of the game like that. I think Yaxel is going to probably get the defensive assignment on Phylon, and that may, his length may cause problems for him getting shots off. Yeah, Alabama either scores the ball and shoots very well and is in this game and we have a great game, or they don't shoot well and this game could get ugly.
And we called it last week, right? With the Michigan game. We said it's going to be close and they're going to be pulled away late, be up by 20 late. Again, I'm glad you mentioned about the playing with the food because I feel like Arizona does that too. They tend to do that, and then it's like, oh, well, we got to cover the spread here. Let's just pour it on. It's like, what the fuck? They just go on a run, and it's like, what just happened, right? Because you're sitting there sweating it, and all of a sudden they're like a 20-0 run, and then or whatever. It's insane. It's like, why couldn't you do that throughout the whole 40 minutes? What are we doing? Right?
Part of that too in the Arizona games is these teams give so much just to hang with them, and they're playing great games and hanging with them, and eventually these teams just wear down and they can't keep up, and then it's just too much. Yeah,
it should be interesting. If Alabama comes to play, and their money from beyond threes, and they're chucking those things up. If anything, I like that over. I like that over there. That could get ugly.
Alabama doesn't play defense.
No. And I don't trust Nate Oates enough to if it's close. I don't trust him enough to come through in the end. But could be interesting from an offense. You'll get some offense for sure. It won't be like the Iowa-Nebraska game. It'll be the complete opposite of that fucking game. Yeah. And then we got this is almost a pick'em. This is what I'm looking forward to. UConn, Michigan State. It seems like DC has got a slight edge in matchups here. Again, we failed to get tickets to these games. We saw Philly was within an hour and a half. DC is within driving distance, and we're sitting in our house watching this. We're idiots.
I know.
UConn, Michigan State. That's a 9:45 tip on CBS. UConn. You say to pick them, but they're laying 1.5 total, 135.5. Michigan State, they're going to control. They like to control the possession, slow it down, bang around inside, bang it on the glass, and then you got UConn. They like to create shots, spread around. Better 3-point shooting team, although struggling of late. Thurs Fri had a great game a couple nights ago or a week ago now. So it's that half-court game, low turnover environment. How do you see this shaking out? Do you feel Izzo and his experience in the tournament, even though I haven't won a championship in God knows how long, you think he prevails here? Or do you think Hurley and this UConn team finally turns it on and we see the best of that team here in the Sweet 16?
Well, Michigan State actually likes to get out and transition. They like to get out and score. This is the problem is they haven't been able to do it as much as they would like. Teams that have been playing good transition defense. But make no mistake about it, if Michigan State could get out, they want to get up and score quickly. And UConn is more of a half-court set offense, run a lot of screens, run a lot of double screens. He runs a good offensive set. The problem with UConn is they haven't been scoring. Like, they haven't been shooting the ball well. They've been shooting the ball so bad. And what I think is there has to be some positive shooting regression here. I would expect that UConn shoots the ball better, and that's what I'm scared of. I really want to take Michigan State here. I've undervalued Michigan State all year. I was never a big fan of Fears just because I don't like him as a person. Waiting for you to. But when I'm being real honest and taking the personality out of it and just looking at the player, he's a really good player, and he gets his team involved. I really want to take Michigan State here. If I knew UConn was going to continue to shoot the way that they are, I don't think they'll be able to get by Michigan State with the way they've been shooting the ball. With that being said, if UConn shoots the ball better than they have, and they actually shoot the ball well, I think they win and cover. So this is a game that I really haven't. I want to take Michigan State. I just don't know if I could do it. I wish I knew how it sounds stupid, but I wish I knew how UConn was going to shoot the ball. Because if you told me right now they'd have the same shooting as they had in the past couple games, I would be all over Michigan State. But and it's hard to bet against Hurley in a tournament setting because he's so good in these situations. So yeah, I wish I could give you guys a better analysis of this game, but this game really is a coin toss, and it's going to come down to how well UConn shoots the ball. It really is.
Or if Fears does something stupid. right?
Yeah, if he gets in foul trouble too, this team doesn't play nearly as well when he's off the court. Yeah.
Yeah. And if he loses his mind,
That could happen too.
You know, could
Take
get
a
the best
cheap
of
shot
him.
at someone and get caught. Yep.
That's exactly it. You never know. It could get heated. But that is, I agree. That's another that there's like the Iowa Cornhuskers game. It's another coin flip essentially. A late possession is going to win it. We could get some really good games here when you look
These
at
are
it.
all such good games, man. They are.
I mean, a couple that could potentially get ugly late and pull away, but for the most part, you're looking at a possession or two. If it pans out, when we're looking at everything on paper here, if it plays out the way we expect it, which makes it good for live betting. If you're not sure what to do, you could look at some live betting angles and see how these teams come out and wait on it if you want to go that route too.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I wanted to mention it and I didn't, but I thought in that Alabama game, that is a perfect game for some live betting because you have teams that are going to get up a lot of shots and they might go through stretches where they're not shooting the ball that well. And if you see a stretch of cold shooting, you might want to get on that team because you know it's going to come back with some hot shooting and you could get that big number and get on it and do some live bets and actually make some money.
Yeah, I even think this last game here on Friday night, the nightcap here, a 10-10 tip on TBS, I think this could be a potential live bet situation. The Tennessee-Iowa State game, just not knowing the Joshua Jefferson situation. Is he playing? If he plays, what's he look like? Is he effective? Is he hurting them more than he's helping them? And then the Rick Barnes factor. How does this pan out with him? He usually lays a dud, and but Tennessee likes to bang it around inside and get physical. Nate Ament, hell of a player. Gillespie, he chucks it up. The local kid from Tennessee, grew up going to Vols games. And this Iowa State team is so good, and he looks so good without Jefferson. If Jefferson plays, or if he doesn't, and if he plays and he's not that efficient, can they keep up another game, to push through here, or does Tennessee move on? It's like, who do you trust more in this situation? That was why I had this marked on my paper with the live bet. Maybe watch and see how the first half shakes out. I don't know. It's one of those games you don't know. It's a question mark in my book.
So we'll know before tip-off whether he's playing. So we'll see whether he dresses and takes warm-ups or not. So we'll know, a couple hours before the game whether you're going to see him out in the court. I really don't think he's playing. I don't think he's going to be playing. And for that reason, I think I want to get on Tennessee and make sure I get that. Is it still at 4.5 right now?
Yeah, 4.5.
Yeah, I want to get that 4.5 points.
138.5 is the total, 4.5.
Because I think when they rule him out for sure, this is going to hop up a little bit. I think it might go up to 5.5. So I want to get on Tennessee at 4.5 because I think if he doesn't play, I think that's too much. Iowa State had that they call the Ewing syndrome where the player's out and team rallies around, but now they played that game already, and Tennessee is a tough interior defensive team. They have a seasoned guard. You already said Gillespie, who's a really good floor leader. And I think he manages the court very well and takes care of the ball. You also have the other guard, Boswell, playing well. I've never been a fan of this Tennessee team all year, but the more I watch them, I'm impressed. And they're not going to get bullied on the inside either.
No.
I just don't think Iowa State can play that same type of game they played last week. They're not going to turn them over nearly like they turned. Who'd they turn over? Who'd they beat? It's slipping my mind.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
Hold on.
I'm brain dead.
Hold on. Let me
Do you
pull
have the
that
bracket
up.
up? Why is this not going
I'm going back. Oh my God. Holy shit.
People are watching this thinking, how the hell?
Kentucky.
Thank you.
Because I had fucking Kentucky, and then they fucking shit the bed late.
So that was a perfect. that was perfect team for Iowa State to play to turn over because Kentucky's. I've said it so many times. They're so undisciplined. You can't trust them. So you're not going to see that with Tennessee. I think you got the recency bias of everybody seeing how well they played last week. I think I'm going to be on Tennessee here plus the points, and the more I'm talking about it, the more I kind of like it. But I'm a big fan of this Iowa State team. Houston and Iowa State, they were both my teams. I hate betting against them, but I think it's the right play.
Yeah, that's both good teams. So we'll see how that shakes out. Speaking of Iowa State, so messing around, I forgot to mention. So I was messing around with some of these games, and I did like this isn't that big of odds, but I did like the state of Iowa. So I took Iowa, Illinois, and then Michigan State in a parlay. That was just shy of plus 700, plus 696. If you take now, these are money line parlays. So Iowa money line, Iowa State money line, Michigan State money line, and Michigan money line, plus 696 DraftKings. And then I did the mother of all parlays, 8-legger, Mikey. Here we go.
God.
Iowa money line.
Why don't you just give me that money and I'll kick you in the balls and save you the trouble?
It was only $1. Iowa money line, Tennessee money line, Alabama money line, Johnny's money line, Illinois money line, Arkansas money line, Texas money line, Michigan State money line. That $1, I don't like change in my account, so I had 61 cents, right? So I did $1.61, so I'm buying a scratch off ticket here. Plus a lot. That $1.61 pays me a little over 10 grand of all these fucking dogs. It was like the dog money line parlay for like $1 for 10 grand.
If that hits, you're going to be pissed at yourself that you just didn't throw $10 on it. You're going to be like, why didn't I just throw $10 on that bet?
That's when it would fucking hit, when I'm just like,
100 grand.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I had, for whatever reason, I just been using Bet 365 more than DraftKings. So I threw like these couple parlays that I did, used up the money in DraftKings just for whatever. And
fuck DraftKings.
Yeah, fuck them. But so then I was like, yeah, you know what? Let me just throw like a buck and change on this, just for the hell of it. Now I got a better shot at getting struck by a lightning. But yeah, I mean that would be the time it hits, when I just throw a buck and change on it, and whatever. So yeah. So that is the tournament in a nutshell. Picks will be posted on X/Twitter page at OTH Sports Pod, the noonish 1 o'clock hour on Thursday, the noonish 1 o'clock hour on Friday. You can follow along there, and then we'll be back Saturday morning, 10 a.m. right here to go over the, oh God, so depressing, the Elite Eight. And then we're on to the Final Four.
And then we'll also have Clown of the Week and Bark Bets on Saturday too.
Clown of the Week, Bark Bets. And for the, before we get out of here, we got to do this. I found two interesting clips. One in the spirit of Major League Baseball starting tonight with Major League Baseball gets this wrong. For as much as I hate Roger Goodell, I don't like Fred Manfred either. He's an idiot. Rob Manfred, I'm sorry. But Major League Baseball, you got the fucking Yankees playing out in San Francisco against the Giants. Two teams nobody gives a flying fuck about. When at least the NFL, they will have the prior year champion kick off that Thursday night game, at least, where baseball just screws the pooch and has two teams no one gives a shit about. But before that, Charles Barkley, this is Charles Barkley's take the other day on the Dan Patrick Show on parenting.
When you yell at somebody when they do something wrong, that's called being a coach. Like, you can't even, people talking about you can't yell at your kids. Yes, hell, you can yell at your kids. You whoop their ass too with the. Let me tell you.
I don't think you're allowed to do that. I don't think you can whoop ass anymore.
Yes, you can. That's why these kids are crazy. And the kids, let me tell you this: don't ever get no damn Hot Wheel racetracks, because those things are dangerous and they leave whelps.
Wait, who? Like your grandma? Did she take a piece of the track to whip you?
Oh, listen. Once I got too old for switches.
Oh yeah.
And for you white folks, switches are tree limbs. Once I got too big for the switches, And then I actually became a switch expert. I would get one that would break after about the 5th or 6th. You have to get one of those. You can't get one of those that are kind of wet because they don't break. You got to get one that's kind of dry. They break after 5 or 6. But then one year, Dad, I made the mistake of getting those Hot Wheel racetracks. And man, that was one of the worst decisions ever. So kids, never get those Hot Wheel racetracks.
Oh my God.
I loved Hot Wheels, man.
Hey, I did too until it became a weapon.
I gotta give your grandma credit for looking at it. You know, I got spanked with a switch.
Yeah, man, listen, I believe in discipline.
Where the fuck did he grow
I'm
up?
not going around telling people to beat their kids, but I think if you don't spank your kids and discipline them, they turn into some of these brats that we got today. I'm not here just saying I'm not here for child abuse, but how are kids gonna know they're doing something wrong? First of all, you can't rationalize with kids. They're dumber than rocks. They don't know they're doing stuff wrong. But when you spank them, that gets the message across, and because they don't want that. And listen, all these fools are gonna be called. Listen, you can blast me on social media. You guys know I don't do social media. I don't ever read any comments. I don't care what you think. Y'all can kiss my big black ass. I'm gonna say what I gotta say. Some of y'all gonna like it, and some of y'all not. Yeah. And y'all will get over it.
Jesus Christ, he's something, man.
Oh God! And then
adolescent psychologist Charles Barkley. Good Lord,
it's my big, not so big black ass anymore. Yeah. Chuck's always got something. And man, fucking Charles Barkley is fantastic. He's something. But just his glasses though. He's got like bug. I think it might be
his
the camera's
his head shrunk.
Yeah, and he's a little close to the camera. Yeah, it's probably bad angle, but
Chuck.
I also found this video today for all the Yankees fans. This is crazy. Our boy Craig Carton. Now I kind of warmed up a little bit. Craig Carton did make the Clown of the Week bus because he was dissing on Herb Street's dog, which he's still an ass for saying that about Herb Street's dog. But Craig Carton, the more I watch him, the more he's on our vibe, Mikey. He's another degenerate, ex-felon. He is an idiot. But some of the shit he says is kind of funny. Now, here's what's going on with the Yankees and a new sponsorship that you'll see going around Yankee Stadium this year if you go to that cesspool, New York City.
New York Yankees, my now beloved New York Yankees.
And Tyrone's an idiot, too.
Are the first team in Major League Baseball to have a tampon partner. They're offering these tampons in every single men's bathroom at Yankee Stadium this season. I just have a question. Why?
Now the why is confusing.
Who's asking for them? And if you don't think there's going to be a game this year with flying tampons, then you know nothing about the Bronx, New York. It's going to happen.
It is.
There's going to be people dunking tampons in their beers. There's going to be people throwing tampons.
Yeah,
there's going to be tampons taped to helmets.
Okay, I thought
there's going to be a tampon problem at Yankee Stadium.
Apparently, if a man is quite the alcoholic, they will soak said tampon in vodka.
Yes.
And then put that tampon.
Yes. But here's the problem with that. Yes.
Yes. No.
Came up yesterday.
And it bypasses. You get drunker.
It's a quicker drunk.
Yeah, because
I could
it bypasses.
not listen to these guys.
It's the old,
they would drive
as
me
they
nuts.
call it on college campuses, which is really discouraged now, the butt chug.
Oh, my God.
Tyrone's such a fucking idiot. I did find one more while we were watching Big Chuck. Dude, this is fucking hilarious. Scott Van Pelt, he is trying to get fired at ESPN. He is the only good thing left at ESPN. He's had some great one-liners. I don't know if you saw this your night. So him and Stanford Steve, they're doing this game, like a game show kind of thing. And it's, you got to pick, they put up 4 different names. And it's which one is a real name of a TV show. Okay, so I'm going to set you up for this. And this is where it cuts in. and him and Stanford Steve are on there, and Van Pelt's trying to guess which one of these 4 names is actually real, and he fucking goes nuclear with his answer. Check this out.
He's got to be the thing. Nope. Big trick. Come on. Again, what is that
TV
on?
shows. It's real.
What is that on Brazzers? What's that even? I don't know. I heard it was a thing.
Internet.
Oh
The cameraman knows, apparently. I'll ask him.
That's great.
Flex to the fucking cameraman, dude.
That's great.
What is that on
What show?
Brazzers? Is that
What
a
show
thing?
is this?
It's on his Sports Center at night when he does like
it
the
is
late
regular
edition.
Sports Center. Yeah,
they doing
the
the
West
segment.
Coast version.
Yeah, he's
that's
like
funny.
in DC or whatever now. But
Brazzers.
what's that? Brazzers? What is that?
I don't know
thing?
what that is, Tom. Anyway, I have no idea.
It deflected the
what that's about.
cameraman. Yeah, he knows what it is. Dude.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's fantastic. He don't give a fuck. He's like, just fire me at this point. He could care less.
I don't think
but that's
they could.
yeah, no. He's like the best thing they have left.
Yeah.
The rest of the network shit. All right, so that's the Sweet 16 breakdown. Like I said, picks at OTH Sports Pod. Mikey will compute the numbers, run them through the computer one last time for the Thursday games. Noonish, 1 o'clock hour on your lunch break. Scroll, check it out at OTH Sports Pod. Hey, if we helped you find a bet, or maybe kept you off a bad one, Mikey, how can the fine folks here show us some love? What do they need to do here?
They could subscribe, unsubscribe, subscribe again, tell a friend, tell an enemy. And if you feel like watching some basketball tonight and betting, take Illinois State plus a 7.5. I'll be on it. We'll win together.
There you go. And Giants, Yankees, first 5 money line. I don't know what the fucking number is, but just bet against the fucking Yankees. And that's a winner, too. If you want to watch that shit.
There you go. It's official Tom play.
Yeah, official play. All right.
Best of luck,
be back
guys.
Saturday morning, 10 a.m. We'll get on it. We'll see you at the window.
See ya.